From KETK, you're watching East Texas Live.
Welcome back. Joining me now is Kathy from My Faulty Gene, an East Texas nonprofit that will be participating in East Texas Giving Day this year. Hi, Kathy.
Hi,
We're glad you're here. Now, I understand you're the founder of My Faulty Gene. Tell us why you founded it and what exactly you do.
My Faulty Gene was founded to provide information and assistance to anyone who needs assistance with genetic testing. Most people have no idea what that is or what the need is for it. I was one of those people until it hit close to home. I come from a family with a very strong cancer background. My great-grandmother had cancer, died of cancer. My grandfather died of cancer. My mother died of cancer. My sister was diagnosed with breast cancer at age 32, and then at age 42, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I had an oncologist here in Tyler at Texas Oncology, Frank Ward, who began suggesting that I have genetic testing. And I was like, okay, but I've already been through my treatment, everything's good, why do I need genetic testing? So I just put it off. I just would blow him off and I'd say, I'll think about it, I'll think about it. For 9 long years, he, at every appointment, would say, have you thought any more about genetic testing? And I said, well, I'm still thinking about it, And right before my mother passed away, just a few months before, she talked to me and my sister, and she said, you know, y'all really need to talk to him some more about that and consider it. Went back and talked to him, and he referred us to a Tyler physician who did both genetic counseling and genetic testing. We tested, and we're not surprised to learn that we did have a mutation, BRCA1 mutation. A lot of people are familiar with that one because of Angelina Jolie, but we did both test positive for that mutation. And once we did, I wasn't surprised, but I didn't realize how that would change my life, because I learned that with that mutation, originally I'd had a lumpectomy, but that meant I still had breast tissue. And I had an 85% chance, up to 85% chance of having breast cancer again in my lifetime.
Wow.
And I had an up to 65% chance of having ovarian cancer. And I had been a long time associated with American Cancer Society here in Tyler and worked with lots of people, met lots of women with ovarian cancer. And I knew how difficult it was. I knew that it usually is stage 3 or 4 and very advanced because there's no test for it. So I thought, you know, that's not something, they call it a silent killer, that's a nickname for it. And I thought, you know, that's not something that I need to mess around with. So I opted at my physician's suggestion to have prophylactic or preventative surgeries. I had, because I was self-employed, I could not take off work for 3 big surgeries. So he found 3 surgeons that were willing to work together, and we had back-to-back-to-back 3 surgeries. I had a double mastectomy, followed by reconstruction of the breast, followed by a hysterectomy and oophorectomy. And lo and behold, I get out of surgery and I discover that I had ovarian cancer, fallopian tube ovarian cancer. So genetic testing saved my life. If I'd waited any longer, I could have been one of the ones that didn't make it. And so I am passionate about spreading the information about how it can be life-saving. And so that's kind of how My Faulty Gene started. It was from my personal background. I saw the need for sharing information about genetic testing to the public. 1 in 6 healthy adults is at an increased risk for a serious health condition due to a genetic condition.
That's
and they
incredible.
don't even know it.
Yeah.
They have no idea. And we do testing more than just cancer. We do heart testing. 1 in 250 people have a genetic heart issue. So it's an important thing.
It sure is. I want to make sure that we get to another really important thing. You're going to be participating in East Texas Giving Day.
Yes, I am.
Can you tell us where those funds will go?
100% of the funds will go to the genetic testing and genetic counseling. We are not taking any money to our overhead. All of it is going to the testing. And we have funded, just in the last 5 months, we've funded 89 tests. And as long as we have money, we are funding those tests. I have 5 more to do this week They're not free, and we don't have a lot of backing. We're still working on it. We're just a couple of years old, but that's where the money's going.
Tell us how people can find out more information about My Faulty Gene.
They can go to our website at myfaultygene.org, and there is a section, resources, and go in the resources section and select application for assistance and also risk assessment. Fill out those two things, submit them online, and we'll get back to you. All of the testing is done through a kit that's mailed to you. It's a saliva test that's done at home. An independent physician reviews everything. Once you have had your testing, you can meet with a genetic counselor, also virtual appointment.
Nice.
And that's what we do. And I have to ask one question before I leave. Do you have a faulty gene?
I don't know.
It's an
I don't
important
know.
question.
It sure is. And your story, as sad as it is, I'm so glad that you were here to share with our community, because this is something that really needs to be addressed.
It is.
Yes.
And I appreciate y'all letting me have the time.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks.